Congratulations! Your university now has a CSD license. Your license could be of different types based on the number of activations allowed: researcher, group, department, campus, or large campus. This video has in mind license holders and librarians in institutions with campus or large-scale campus license. But we hope also other license holders will find it helpful. Now that you have received your institution's access details, you might have questions like, what is the CSD? Who would benefit from using it and why? How do you set up access? How do students, researchers, and educators get trained up? In this video, we will answer these questions to help your institution make the most of your CSD license. So, what is the CSD? The Cambridge Structural Database, CSD, is a database of over 1.25 million crystal structures. It contains the data of structures for all published small organic and metal organic molecules. Data from the CSD is particularly useful in a variety of fields: pharmaceutical, drug design, agrochemical, pigments, protein ligands, metal organic frameworks, MOFs, porous materials, and many more. Sharing data in the CSD database enables researchers to go from the individual experiment to the individual results to the creation of a collection of information and the extraction of knowledge from such collection, which will then inform the next experiments. To help you extract this knowledge, the CCDC has developed suites of software, the CSD software, with a range of functionality designed specifically to search, visualize, and analyze crystal structures. With the portfolio, you can find tools that are suitable for a variety of fields, and they are divided in suites: CSD Core, CSD Materials, CSD Particle, CSD Discovery, and CSD Theory. Your academic CSD license gives you access to the full CSD portfolio, so to functionality in all suites in the CSD software and all curated CSD data. Lots of departments can benefit from it: chemistry and biochemistry, biochemical and chemical engineering, medicinal chemistry, physics, pharmacology, biosciences, pharmaceutical sciences, material science, geology and mineralogy, computer science, data science, as well as university library services, just to cite a few. Within each department, the CSD can be a powerful tool, both in research and in education, and we will see some examples later. Let's now have a closer look into some of the features and functionality you get access to with your CSD license. First, we will cover how you can access the database on the web. WebCSD enables you to access and perform complex searches of the entire CSD database online. This can be done from any device via any browser, as long as you're connected to the internet. In WebCSD, the data is updated to the minute. Each structures page has a visualizer to explore the structure in 3D, including some basic analysis functionality. WebCSD can be used both in education and research. In particular, its ease of access can make WebCSD very helpful in a classroom setting, as students can quickly visualize structures and molecules from any device during a lesson. Then, with your CSD license, your institution gets access to the full range of downloadable software. As we saw, the software is organized in different suites based on the field of applications, and it enables you to harness the knowledge from the CSD to gain insight into your own structures. With the CSD software, you can visualize solid forms and protein ligand complexes. It enables you to perform text, numeric, 2D and 3D searches of the database, both manually using the desktop software and programmatically with the API, as well as simultaneously searching ligands in the CSD and the Protein Data Bank, PDB. To help you better understand solid form stability and design new materials, you can use the CSD software also to perform in-depth analysis of your structures and molecules, starting from their molecular geometry to their interactions, such as hydrogen bonds, to how molecules pack together in the crystal. Using the CSD software, it is also possible to calculate and estimate protein ligand docking poses. As we said, the CSD software is a powerful tool both in education and in research. For example, using data in the CSD and the CSD visualization software, educators can effectively demonstrate to their students a number of concepts from chemistry and more subjects at all levels, and the students can explore them hands-on from real data. And as they discover structures in the CSD, students can visualize them with the same software used in research and in industry, and learn skills for searching database and best data practices. In research, the CSD can provide contextual insights in the process of crystallographic investigation, assessment of solid form, and drug discovery. In crystallography and solid form studies, it can provide background research. It can provide support in modeling and understanding the structures. It can provide insights into your data and in the interpretation of the results. The visualization software from the CSD can also provide effective ways to communicate your results, such as images, files for videos, or for 3D printing. In drug discovery, the CSD portfolio can support in ligand-based research, such as finding ligands with the same pharmacophore features and identifying key interactions. It provides functionality for modeling and evaluating protein-ligand docking poses, and for interpreting the results, for example, in terms of interactions. And once again, for the CSD software, you can create high-quality images to communicate your findings effectively. If you want to see some examples of the use of the CSD in education and in research, you can follow the links on the screen, also linked in the video description, and share them with your staff. Now that you have a clearer idea of who, why, and for what is going to use the CSD at your institution, it is time to get everyone set up. Let's start by seeing how your researchers, educators, and students can access WebCSD online. There are two ways. The first one is via IP address. Access via IP address allows all the staff and students at your institution connected to your network to automatically get access to WebCSD without any further step. You might have already provided your institution IP address or addresses to the CCDC around the time you received your license details, either directly or via the National Affiliated Center, NAC, or distributor, if there is one in your country. But if you have not yet, please share it with the CCDC at admin@ccdc.cam.ac.uk so we can activate this access for you. The other option would be for users to create an account on the CCDC website and connect it to your institutional license with the few simple steps shown on screen. License details should be shared only with your staff and students according to your institution policy and license agreement. On the other hand, the desktop software and our API need a local installation. If you have computer labs and/or computers in your library or libraries, a good idea would be to install the software and activate the license directly on these machines. This would ensure wide access to students and researchers. You can follow the steps in our installation video, and more resources are linked on the screen and in the video description. Of course, if you or your technical and IT staff need support with this task or have any question, our support team at support@ccdc.cam.ac.uk will be happy to help. Note that if you have a large-scale campus license, you can consider using a license server, as presented in the blog, linked on the screen and in the description. Finally, researchers and educators might find it more convenient to have the CSD installed on their own campus office machine. In this case, they can install it by themselves following the instructions in the video, or with the support of your IT and technical team according to your institution's policy. Also in this case, they will need the license details to download and activate the software, which should be shared according to your institution's policy and license agreement, and only with your staff and students. Please note that your license details may change. If they do, you will need to activate the new license in your installed software. Data in our desktop software is also updated quarterly, and our software is regularly enhanced. Hence, your users can stay regularly up to date via our auto-update mechanism, and more information can be found on our website. You will also need to renew your license to ensure a smooth transition and continued access to staff and students and avoid any discontinuity. Renewals are typically yearly, but check your contract to confirm. For any help with this or any further question, please contact our administrative team at admin@ccdc.cam.ac.uk or contact your national affiliated centre or distributor if your country has one. Before concluding this video with some useful resources and useful contacts, we would like to tell you more about how the CSD was established and how the CCDC, as a non-for-profit organization, is here to serve you and the community. The CSD started with a vision from Olga Kennard and J.D. Bernal that the collective use of data would lead to new knowledge and generate new insights. This vision led Dr. Kennard to establish the beginning of the Cambridge Structural Database, CSD, and our organization, the Cambridge Crystallographic Data Centre, CCDC, back in 1965. Dr. Kennard's incredible pioneering vision has ensured this valuable resource can be used by scientists worldwide. Today, over 1,100 academic institutions rely on the database, and it is used in a large variety of ways, as we saw, from helping to design new drugs in the pharmaceutical industry to understanding more about the nature of solid forms to helping to teach students about science in universities globally. The CCDC is a not-for-profit organization with the charitable objectives of advancing chemistry and crystallography for the public benefit. It was set up with the primary aim to provide high-quality information services and software through the creation and curation of the CSD. Alongside this, we do collaborative research, develop scientific software, and we do training, education, and outreach activities. As a charity, we exist to serve our community and are guided by a board of trustees from our community. The CCDC is here to help you and your staff and students to make the most out of your CSD license and make sure everyone at your institution can benefit from the CSD data and software. We have a wide collection of online training resources to get your researchers started with the use of the CSD, such as online modules with completion certificates, how-to videos on YouTube, and self-guided workshop handouts with step-by-step procedure for each functionality. Links are available on screen and in the description. We also regularly organize and tutor at live training events, both online and in person, where attendees can try the software hands-on and ask their questions directly to CCDC experts. These include the CCDC Virtual Workshop and workshops at crystallography school and conferences. Visit our website to find out which events are coming up soon. We also have a collection of resources aimed at supporting university undergraduate and postgraduate teaching, such as the Teaching Subset, a collection of structures from the CSD selected as particularly useful in teaching, and the teaching modules and outreach resources aimed at different teaching levels, created by the CCDC or by members of the community who shared them with us to ensure wider access for colleagues and students all over the world. On the CCDC website, you can find a number of technical resources aimed at resolving any installation, technical and license issue you may face, as well as scientific queries, such as user guides and FAQs. If your question is not answered through these resources, you can email our support team at support@ccdc.cam.ac.uk. For license agreements and renewals, you can contact your NAC or distributor if present in your country, or you can contact us directly about this at admin@ccdc.cam.ac.uk. For all other queries, you can use the Contact Us form online, linked below. We also collaborate with national crystallographic associations and a network of CSD champions to gain more feedback from the community and support the academic community more closely. In this video, we saw what the CSD database and software are and different installations and access options for your university, as well as resources for training and teaching and useful contacts. We saw how your CSD license gives researchers, educators, and students at your institution access to a powerful tool that supports their learning, teaching, and research projects throughout their academic journey at all levels. And as the CSD is used in industry too, students also gain skills useful after academia. In conclusion, do not forget to install the CSD on computers in your labs and libraries. Share this video with your technical and IT staff. Add the CSD as an available resource in the multimedia and software resources on your website. If you need inspiration, find some text linked in the description. And share with your departments the training resources, the link to the events page, and to register to the newsletter to always be up to date about upcoming events and software news. Thank you and see you soon!